I really don't know much, but what I do know is I'm not doing this shit till I'm 65. I'm sorry. I'm not doing this shit till I'm 65. You're telling me we work 40 hours a week to trade off for 2 days off a week. Oh, great, perfect. I wake up every morning, I get ready, I go to work, I come home, I get unready, and then I go to bed. And then I sleep. And then I wake up and I do it all over again. Are you fucking kidding me? And then I have 2 days off to do my chores. Oh, great, perfect. No, great, perfect. And then by the time I'm like, okay, everything's done. It's time to sit down and enjoy my weekend. Would you look at that? 10 p.m. 10 p.m. weekend's over. I'm not doing this until I'm 65. Sorry, not for me. What's your dream job? None. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I feel like a rat in a maze and I want out of it. No, sorry. Why are you posting on TikTok so much? Because I can't do this. Because I cannot do this. Thank you. I really don't know much, but what I do know is I'm not.
I find it interesting that someone, perhaps assuming of her age, complaining about this, refers to the things she has to do as chores. Like, chores, it seems like something, a task, an assignment given to you by a parent. So I'm going to have to assume that this person is a child. Granted, a child old enough to theoretically drive a Jeep, but it could have just been a passenger sitting in the seat waiting for their parents to show back up. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that there. I'm going to leave that there and really kind of add on to her complaints and let her know that she doesn't have to do this until she's 65. I'm not even sure why she chose the age 65. I mean, I guess she assumes that she could retire at age 65 and live off of her investments. Maybe Social Security. But we all know that Social Security, by the time she's 65, probably won't be the same Social Security that there is now, if any. Seen a lot of changes. I actually just saw that Texas is going to go ahead and move forward with eliminating all property taxes, which I think is an amazing idea. And if we could get that here in Florida, sign me up, sign us up both. We're voting for that shit immediately. But, it's like, why is she posting on TikTok? Why is anybody posting on TikTok? And I think that, it would probably behoove her to increase her skill to the point of which she can earn the money to not have to work 5 days a week and only have a few hours to do her chores and then a short weekend before she has to turn around and do it all again. Not saying that she needs to increase her skills on TikTok, which could be a viable option. It really could be. But I'm just saying in general. It used to be, I think, like you go to school, then you graduate high school, and then you go to college, you get a good degree, and you get a good job, and you make good money. Now, granted, with that, you got to have sound financial prowess, education, discipline, not to make good money and then spend more money. The income, was it the income creep or something? I don't know. It's the phenomenon basically where you keep making more money, but you keep spending more money. So it seems like you haven't really made more money. I can't remember what it's called, but now that may not necessarily be the path that everybody wants to go down. So instead, what do? I mean, you could take the social media. I mean, you really could. Hear me out, folks. I'm going to see if I can find this post as I am inundated with some of the best gun porn imaginable. Thank you, Graham Banks Cole, for posting these pics regularly. But I had a post here, and let's see if I saved it. And it said Sophie Raines says she's going to make more than LeBron James this year with her OnlyFans.
I made $43 million
in 1 year
last year.
That's a fact.
But I get taxed out of my ass. Like,
I can't imagine taxes.
That's insane.
I did make $43 million.
That's more than Richie. Could we look up like some athletes? I feel
Videos
like
of
that's
people
more than
comparing
LeBron
it.
made last year, bruh.
How much did LeBron James make last year?
Yo!
Wait, just
Oh
barely.
my god.
Oh,
He barely beat you.
Barely. I mean,
that is
crazy.
crazy.
Wait, how much is 40? Sophie, you need to work harder.
I was gonna say my all-time is.
Nah, seriously,
Next
bro.
year you
LeBron got 52,
Yeah, next
bro.
year.
And so it's like, yeah, I guess you could make more money that way. That could definitely be a possibility. But let's just be logical. Let's just be realistic here. And focus on careers, industries that are going to pay well and probably pay until you're 65. Not industries that are going to be completely eliminated and replaced and everyone made obsolete thanks to AI. And there's good news because future generations are going to benefit from these changes, these updates, these policies, which I don't know about you guys, but would you care to guess who she voted for? The type of people who take to TikTok to make these types of videos, to voice these types of complaints, do you think that they typically vote a certain way? I think I saw one today and it says, and it's something along the lines of the effect of like, they're liberal because they have compassion or something like that. Or empathy.
To my haters, are you bitch jealous?
I don't know. I think there's a line that needs to be drawn between like logical, rational logic, and I just don't want to work. I just don't want to work. I also don't want to gain any equitable skills that would make it so I could work less and make more money and work less. Maybe she should join the Stay Free community where we're constantly talking about money savings, passive income, wealth building strategies, business opportunities. I would go as far as say she should join Platinum Coaching, but she doesn't seem like the type that has the drive and initiative to really want to do that. So, regardless of whether she voted for it or not, or would, our president, Donald Trump, and soon to be probably 48th president, JD Vance, that is if he can beat out LeBron James, because apparently LeBron James has gotten more bets on becoming the next president on Polymarket than JD Vance, Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, AOC combined, I think is what I read. But JD Vance has some really good news here that I want to share with you guys. So here, look, watch.
If you go back 50, 60 years, what is the fastest period for blue-collar wages rising in the United States of America? It is the time that we are living in right now, thanks to the economic policies of Donald J. Trump. You know what the worst thing for people at the bottom of the income ladder is? It's when you flood the country with millions upon millions of illegal aliens and force our poor Americans to compete for jobs against low-wage foreigners who don't even have the legal right to be here. That is what destroys the wages and the livelihoods of people who are struggling in this country. We want to empower them to live the American dream. That's why we're protecting their jobs, lowering their taxes, and fighting to make their country safe again.